international call for Israel to cease fire is growing as military forces ramp up bombings in the Gaza Strip.
Israel once again vowed to destroy Hamas during a high-level United Nations Security Council meeting yesterday. It comes as Israeli forces prepare for a possible ground invasion in Gaza, despite warnings from allies like the U.S. There was outrage in Israel following these comments yesterday by UN Secretary General.
It is important to also recognize the attacks by Hamas did not happen in a vacuum. The Palestinian people have been subjected to 56 years of suffocating occupation. Their hopes for a political solution to their plight have been vanishing. But the grievances of the Palestinian people cannot justify the appalling attacks by Hamas, and those appalling attacks cannot justify the collective punishment of the Palestinian people.
Ever since the Hamas attack 2.5 weeks ago, Israel has been pummeling Gaza with airstrikes. The World Health Organization says almost 2/3 of health facilities have stopped functioning in Gaza, leaving thousands of injured Palestinians without care.
NBC News correspondent Jay Gray joins us now from Tel Aviv with the very latest. Hey, Jay, good morning. So shortly after the meeting with the UN, then we heard from John Kirby, National Security Council. He seemed to back Israel's decision not to call a ceasefire. Let's listen to a little bit of that.
We want to see all measure of protection for civilians, and pauses in operation is a tool and a tactic that can do that for temporary periods of time.
So does that mean
that is not the same as saying a ceasefire. Again, right now, we believe a ceasefire benefits Hamas.
Tell us, Jay, what did we hear from other leaders attending this meeting?
Well, and this comes after the UN Secretary General said there are clear violations of international law occurring in Gaza. 12 of 15 members voted in favor of a resolution calling for a humanitarian pause to deliver aid. The U.S. voted against that measure, saying it did not include language that outlines Israel's right to self-defense. So the U.S. saying that they would not support that measure because it didn't include the right for Israel to, in essence, continue the airstrikes across Gaza.
So, Jay, intelligence officials have learned new information about that hospital explosion inside Gaza on October 17th. They say the missile was not fired by Israel. What more are we learning about this explosion?
Yeah, they are saying that that missile was fired from within Gaza, and they're also saying that they're not accepting some of the death totals that have been presented from within Gaza. They were saying that 400 to 500 people may have died in that blast. At this point, they are saying that they don't believe that to be the case. They're also saying that they believe a lot of what happened surrounding that blast at the hospital has been used in an effort to change global perception about what's going on inside Gaza.
And Jay, let's of course talk about the ongoing hostage situation. Hamas leaders seem to be open at this point to discussing a possible negotiation when it comes to those more than 200 people who are believed to still be held hostage. Has any progress been made here? Are we hearing anything more also from the families of hostages that have been released so far?
Yeah, it's very interesting because this is all backdoor negotiations, Qatari officials acting as intermediaries. And what they've said is that the talks do continue around the clock and that they have become very active of late. They say that they are hopeful of a breakthrough in those talks and a release of a number of hostages very soon. As for the families of the hostages, they have called for a ceasefire until all of the hostages have been removed. And for the 4 that have been released, they have said repeatedly that they won't be able to celebrate until everybody comes home.
And Jay, one other headline: Israel's airstrikes hit several military sites in response to rocket launches from Syria early this week. Are we seeing an escalation here of this war spreading to neighboring countries?
Yeah, Joe, it's a huge concern. It has been, especially over the last week or so. We've seen continued volleys between Israeli forces along the Lebanon border with Hezbollah. And I think it's important to remember that Israel's a country that is surrounded by countries that don't like them, by adversaries. And so that's something they've been dealing with for quite some time. You talked about Syria specifically. 24 U.S. military personnel were injured in the last week during drone attacks on American bases in Iraq as well as in Syria. And then, Israeli forces early this morning responding with an airstrike against the forces in Syria. And we are told via military sources that at least 8 Syrian fighters died as a result of those airstrikes.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.